It's a real pleasure to be here. You'll notice my technical incompetence to do with IT. It's a privilege to be asked to say a few words with people with such experiences, which I can only learn from. I'd like to make 3 points, really. The first is that we must keep telling the story of 1948 and what has happened since. And it's a story of dispossession, of Palestinians losing their land, of losing their homes, of being killed with impunity, and the daily oppression that would destroy most of us. And they're still there. And this meeting, I know, is a tribute to their endurance and to their courage and to their solidarity with one another. I only know from 1948 from reading about it. And the 3 quotations that I've picked out that in a way maybe capture something of what happened. The first is a quotation from Ben Gurion in 1938. And he said many things that illustrated what was to happen. But I think this is as clear as anything what was intended. And he said, after we become a strong force, as the result of the creation of a state, we shall abolish partition and expand to the whole of Palestine. That was the intention, clear intention in 1938. And a couple of quotations from a magisterial book by Ilan Pappé, great historian. And this is his a brief account of the methods that were worked out at a meeting on the 10th of March in 1948. A meeting that he says was of veteran Zionists and youthful militants. And they intended to remove the Palestinians, forcibly evict them, by these methods: by large-scale intimidation, laying siege and bombarding villages and population centres, setting fire to houses, properties and goods, expulsions, demolitions, and planting mines. And we know what was up to 800,000 people were expelled, 530 odd villages destroyed. Atrocities including rape, massacres, poisoning water supplies, and so on, and many more. And the conclusion, which I think is we have to carry with us, and is the motive for this meeting, certainly for me, is that in Pape's words, it was a simple but horrific story of the ethnic cleansing of Palestine, a crime against humanity that Israel has wanted to deny and cause the world to forget. And up to today, when Mike Pompeo, the US Secretary of State, met Netanyahu, I believe, on Wednesday to discuss the annexation, as Yara described. And so we continue to tell the story. And the second thing I want to say is we must not be intimidated. We know those who do tell the story face abuse, vilification, accusations of racism, accusations of anti-Semitism. It's a campaign that has brought down the leadership of Jeremy Corbyn, leader of the Labour Party. But we mustn't be we mustn't be put off by that. We have to tell the story. We know the mass media will collude in that fake campaign, but we have to stand strong, because the abuse that we get here is nothing compared to what the Palestinians suffer in real life, in their daily lives. And the third thing I want to say is what can we do? What can we do? I think political activity is vital. In our trade unions, we need to organise and pass resolutions so that the unions recognise, as some unions have, the Fire Brigade Union in particular here, to their credit. We recognise the struggle of the Palestinians in our unions and offer support through unions. In political parties, of course, in particular, we have to, in the Labour Party, those who are members, must invite Palestinian speakers or speakers on their behalf. We must pass resolutions. We must demand that the party stands by its manifesto commitment to recognise the state of Palestine. That's absolutely a fundamental requirement that we must fight for. We must fight in universities where Palestinian demonstrations and meetings have been closed down. So there's a big campaign to be waged in universities and in churches too, for those who are religious and are active in churches. Then please campaign for human rights, campaign for the rights of the Palestinians. This is a matter of international law, and it's a matter of human solidarity. And the third way in which we can help, and maybe I feel this more than most, we need to challenge the great and the good. Where are the writers? Where are the musicians? There are some who are always there, who always can be relied on. Where are the rest? Where are the glitterati? Where are the great and the good authors that in the literary salons of London? Let them stand up. Let them demand the rights that all people are entitled to, of security at home, security in their lives, security in their country. Where are they? And I would remind them who stay silent of the words of Yevgeny Yevtushenko, the Soviet dissident and poet. And he said, where truth is replaced by silence, silence is a lie. And finally, we must support the boycott and divestment and sanctions movement. When politicians are silent, when politicians collude in the breaches of international law, they stand by when people are killed with impunity, then civil society must act and join that peaceful demonstration of our determination that Israel should pay a price for the oppression. And the boycott and divestment and sanctions movement, and particularly the cultural and academic boycott, which is not against individuals. It is where the state of Israel is involved in promoting events. So that's what we can do. We know the truth. We know that the Palestinians continue to be oppressed. And we have to tell the truth and let the world hear it. Let the world hear it. Thanks very much.